welcome to Color Acres. Today I am making some cottage cheese pumpkin bread. It is finally starting to get a little nicer outside. The humidity is going down the dew point. It's feeling better, so it's definitely put me in the mood for some pumpkin recipes. Even though it's still summer, we're not to fall yet, but once that weather starts cooling down, oh, I love pumpkin. So here we go. I have never made a pumpkin bread with cottage cheese in it. Last year I was making normal pumpkin bread because last year I was still eating sugar, but this year I've cut out all processed sugars. I think it was maybe back in February where I did that. So this will have no processed sugar in it. So going into the holidays this year, it's going to be interesting. All of my recipes will be different. So if you are also on a journey to give up processed sugar or sugar in general, check out some of my recipes because I have a lot of them out there. And gosh, the next thing you know, we'll be getting to Christmas. So I'm going to be having to figure out how to modify all of those types of recipes that I like to make for the holidays, only I'm going to be doing them all different this year. Okay, for this recipe, you are going to need a half a cup of cottage cheese. Obviously, that's kind of the star of the recipe. I'm using this Daisy cottage cheese. Get it at Costco. There are so many things you can add cottage cheese to that it's so good. You got to try it if you haven't. So half a cup, like I said, blended. I've already put mine through my blender. And usually what I do, I only have a big blender. If you only have a big blender like I do and you find that you really like cottage cheese recipes, blend up more than you need for the recipe so you just have some extra if you plan to use it within the next few days. I like to do at least a cup at a time, a little more, because I feel like sometimes it's hard to get every bit of it out of the blender. And then that way I'm not constantly dragging out the blender for just a half a cup. I really need to get a smaller one. That would be ideal. 1 cup of pumpkin. Got that here. If you're a member of Costco, or probably even Sam's Club, I don't go to Sam's Club because I don't know, but that's a great place to get your pumpkin if you like making things with pumpkin. 1/4 cup of either melted butter or coconut oil. I'm just using regular unsalted butter. A half a cup of the sweetener of your choice. I am using Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. I love this stuff. I'm using this to keep it sugar-free, but you could also do maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, and then that would still be non-processed sugar if you prefer that and you don't like the monk fruit. I like the monk fruit. I think it's great. Oh, and this is also going to be a protein pumpkin bread. So I'm also adding 1 scoop of vanilla protein. I'm using Clean Simple Eats vanilla protein powder. You can leave that out. I just wanted to add a little extra protein to mine. So I've got my 1 scoop right there. 1.5 cups of almond flour. You could use regular if you prefer, but this is just going to make it better for you. And almond flour is great. It's really easy to substitute 1-for-1 with regular flour in recipes. And this one I got on Amazon. Also, Costco is a great place to buy it, but you can buy it anywhere, obviously. Walmart, Target, I think they have it literally everywhere. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using my homemade vanilla. Love this stuff. I have a lot of videos out there if you're interested. Kind of getting into that cooler weather. Definitely this winter I'll be making more vanilla. It's just a great time to make vanilla. You know, you kind of think of baking once the weather gets colder. It's just nice to have those scents in the house and the oven on. Speaking of oven, preheat that to 350 and get your baking pan ready. Line your bread pan with parchment paper or spray it however you want to do it. Also 2 eggs, preferably room temperature. I've already dumped those into my bowl just so I didn't have to dirty another one, and 1 teaspoon of salt. I think I've covered it. Looking over everything, just making sure. All right, let's get started. Again, I've already got my 2 eggs in here. I'm gonna add in my butter next. Again, 1/4 cup. And mine is unsalted, but you can use salted. Just gonna kind of break that egg up. One of them was already broken, one was not. Then I'm gonna add in my whipped cottage cheese. Love, love, love this. I'm gonna also be doing a mug cake with the cottage cheese here soon. So there will be a video as long as it turns out good. I love making the protein mug cakes, but I have not yet made one with cottage cheese. It's also gonna have protein powder in it, but watch for that if you're interested. Kind of nice sometimes to have a single serve dessert. I'm gonna add in my cup of pumpkin. Love pumpkin. Okay. can't go wrong with pumpkin bread. And you know what? It's almost September. Let's see, I think we're 2 days away from September 1st, something like that. So also that means it's gonna be mum season. Yes. I think I'm gonna go get some mums this weekend. Oh, I love mums. All right, pour in my vanilla, my baking powder, baking soda, salt. I love fall, but gosh, I hate what comes after. Winter is no fun. It just goes on for what feels like forever. Add in my monk fruit. Summer, on the other hand, goes way too fast. Way too fast. Especially this year, for some reason. I don't know. This has to be, it's felt like one of the fastest summers ever that I can remember. My scoop of protein powder. And then be adding in that delicious pumpkin spice. I can smell it. It smells so good. And then I'm going to slowly add in my almond flour so that I don't get it flying everywhere out of my bowl. My bowl's not really tall. If I had a taller bowl, I could mix more in at a time, but this bowl, I love this bowl. I just love glass bowls for whatever reason. Pyrex, got it on Amazon. It came in a 3-pack and it was a really great price. The only thing that would make it better is if it would have come with lids. It didn't. That would have been the icing on the cake. I love a bowl with a lid. That way, if you want to make something, like mix up a big salad or something, whatever it may be, you can just mix it up, put the lid on, stick it in the fridge. Love that. Or if you wanted to mix up something like this, but you didn't want to bake it right away, obviously you can cover it with plastic wrap, but I don't know. I just like a lid. You could also do a mix-in, chocolate chips. My husband suggested raisins. I just don't like raisins, so yeah, not gonna add those. But hey, if you do, you could mix that in. You could mix some nuts in. But today I'm just going with a nice, simple, plain pumpkin bread. Protein pumpkin bread. Don't want to leave that out. That is important. All right, I have to give this a little taste because I always have to taste. Yep, it's gonna be good. I can tell by just tasting the dough. It's gonna be good. Okay, got my bread pan here lined with parchment paper. All right, smooth that out. I'll get it in the oven. Usually quick breads seem to take about an hour. I am definitely gonna check it probably around the 40-minute mark and then go from there, but I will let you know exactly how long I bake this for. General rule of thumb, you just want that toothpick to come out clean when you stick it. All right, ready to go in the oven. Okay, the pumpkin bread is done. I did bake it for exactly 1 hour. It smells so good. Can't wait to try it. I am gonna spread just a little bit of my favorite butter on here that I get at Costco. Love this stuff. Mine's only been cooling for maybe like 20-ish minutes, not a real long time, but I wanted to taste it while it's still warm. That way the butter will melt on there too. Okay. There it is. All right. Some butter on here. I'm gonna make my piece a little smaller so it's easier to spread this on. Love that pumpkin pie spice smell. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, let's see. Definitely good. Love pumpkin bread. You do get a different texture, of course, when you've got cottage cheese and you have almond flour, but it is good. And if you enjoy baking with almond flour, I do it all the time, then you will like this pumpkin bread. Smells like fall, tastes like fall, but it's still summer. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.